Okay, so what are we going to cover in this session? So it's all about providing education about assistive technology. And we're going to start with explaining why it's actually important to do that. And that's for things like avoiding AT abandonment. So when the client just doesn't use the AT after you leave the room, but we also want to make sure that they're safe and that they know how to use it properly so that they're going to get the best functional outcomes. Then we're going to go through a framework, which I'm calling the who, what, how framework. It's just one I've come up with by myself that will hopefully be nice and easy as a way that you can apply across any sort of piece of AT and any type of client. So what is it all about? The who is basically thinking about who your client is so that you can pitch the education that you're going to deliver at the right level. So considering things like their age and their health literacy, but also how they are feeling in that moment. So do they have any pain or fatigue that's going to impact their ability to concentrate or absorb the information you're going to provide? The next part is the what. So what exactly do you want to cover in terms of your content? So that could be things like knowing how to actually set up the equipment, how to use it and when to use it, but also other things that come a little bit down the track, which could be like troubleshooting. What do they do if something doesn't quite feel right? And are you going to be seeing them again to follow up any issues, or do they need to initiate some sort of follow-up? And then the how. So it's basically thinking about sometimes you might just give a verbal explanation, sometimes you might just have a written brochure, but it's thinking about, is that the best option for that particular client and that particular piece of AT, or do you need to combine a variety of different modalities? So it could be things like a video, a demonstration, verbal, written, but also considering if you need to educate somebody besides the client themselves, so maybe a family member or a paid support worker. And then also thinking about how much of that education you deliver in one go. So is it something that you can explain how to use this piece of AT just in one session, or is it something that you need to break up and practice with them over a few sessions? So then once we've gone through that, I'll use a case study as well to demonstrate how you would apply that framework. And then I'll give you some ideas for practice as well, because one thing to just listen to me tell you about a framework. To be able to learn the skill yourself, you really need to practice it and implement it, and that's where the real confidence and competence will come. Then there'll be a little bit of a wrap up and some homework options for any keen beans that would like to have some more case studies that they can try and work through themselves. And for anyone that's here live, that you'll also be able to get a little bit of practice time and you can have a go at the end, and I can give you a bit of feedback on how you went. So if that sounds interesting, stay tuned and we'll get started.